are now standing in the Dali 17 Museum in Monterey, where...
Oh, dearie me. Perchance are you Dr. Beth Harris and Dr. Stephen Zucker? I'm a huge fan.
How wonderful. Would you like to speak with us?
Oh, I couldn't. Well, very well.
We are standing in the Dali 17 Museum in Monterey, where the largest collection of Spaniard surrealist Salvador Dali's work is held in the west coast of this marvelous country.
Fun fact, Dali lived in Monterey from 1941 to 1948, and Monterey is the only place Dali lived anywhere in the United States.
All right, let's go inside.
So, Dali is a surrealist. Surrealists try to release the creative potential of the subconscious. It is the explication of the idea that you cannot physically see, but that you can physically represent.
Dali did not only paint, he also worked with a variety of media such as film, photography, and sculpture to capture his dreamscape of the subconscious.
Did you know that Dali once said, "Each morning when I awake, I experience again a supreme pleasure, that of being Salvador Dali."
Okay, let's go look at some of his art now. The first piece we would like to look at is Judith cutting off the head of Holofernes from the Volume 2 of Dali's series, the Biblia Sacra.
Dali did this piece in 1969. It is an original lithograph from the original gouache.
Did you know that gouache is a method of painting using opaque pigments ground in water and thickened with a glue-like substance?
Anyways, there are two nude figures, one with his back faced to the audience and the other woman holding up the head of Holofernes, showing the audience her success. She is facing us with her nude breasts exposed with some form of shackle surrounding and holding up her breasts.
So this piece references to the biblical story of Judith and Holofernes, where Judith, a beautiful widow, slayed the head of Holofernes, who was about to destroy Judith's city. The nude woman will be Judith, and the black head-like figure she holds up is the head of Holofernes.
We can see the influence from the classical and the Renaissance in the rendering of the perfect human figures with the proper musculature and form.
There's some ambiguity in the form of Holofernes' head. The general composition of this piece is defined by its obscuring colour. The large green brushstroke in the foreground dominates the viewer's attention. The outlined nude figure in the background draws further attention away from Judith.
We see this subject matter all over the history of art. We have Artemisia Gentileschi's Judith beheading Holofernes from the early Italian Baroque period in the 1600s, and Cindy Sherman's Untitled number 228 from the History Portraits series.
Moving on to our next piece, we are looking at another lithograph out of the series, The Humorous Dreams of Pantagruel. Dali created this piece using gouaches and felt pencil on illustration.
Dali draws inspiration from François Rabelais' Pentology, The Life of Gargantua and Pantagruel. The text tells the adventure of two giants. Dali illustrated this novel, mirroring the distrust of the narrative in his grotesque and unsettling formal presentations.
The circular nature of the cycles of defecation and excretion are absolutely remarkable. You can see that each of the animals seems to perpetuate a cycle of decay and death. The viewing of this piece can begin at any place of the composition, and the lines will lead your eyes through the contents of the piece.
The longer you look at this piece, the more elements become apparent to the eye. As you can see, in the center of the composition are two elongated breasts with small birds suckling on the teats.
Dali's reverence and satire on mankind and of the world through numerous portrayals of sex and Freudian symbols are blatant. This scene is truly titillatingly erotic.
Here, we can see Dali's own approach to surrealism, the paranoid critical, a state in which one can stimulate delusion while maintaining one's sanity.
Dali also draws inspiration from Hieronymus Bosch, an early Flemish painter who was one of the Rabelais' contemporaries and considered to be one of the precursors to surrealism due to the nature of his strange paintings. By mixing his own images with those of the writer, Dali recreates Bosch's art to illustrate the parody tales of chivalry and epic writings.
Now we are looking at the Casa y Menja system, from the 10 recipes for immortality.
The Casa y Menja system literally means shit and eat system. Dali made this series in 1973. This is an engraving with dry point and heliogravure.
Fascinating backstory to the subject matter of this piece. As a child, Dali began to branch quickly away from the conventions of belief. He developed a theory to which he believed unlimited and infinite human nutrition could be provided. He surmised that humans would be ordered in rank of societal stature and class, such that the highest member of society would defecate onto and provide nourishment to the next highest ranking person. Dali believed that if this method was perpetuated for all members of society, free and infinite nutrition without any labor would be achieved. In essence, each town would have a helical tower of immortality. Later in life, he read of a urine recycling system used in the space stations and was reminded of this childhood fancy. Though the system was quickly debunked for lacking the provisions of nutritional fulfillment, the grotesque cyclical system remained in the realm of Dali's interest.
Wow, that is a fascinating theory.
So, as you can see, on this piece, you can see the people lined up horizontally, all squatting in unison, preparing to defecate so the person behind them can consume it. He references classical antiquity.
Yes, ma'am? No, yeah, I was just with Beth and Stephen. No, I'm just on the other gallery. No, yes, I'll come meet you at once. No, I know, no, Beth, Stephen, from the videos, I showed you one last night. I thought they might be here. Okay, I'll come meet you. I'm sorry, ma'am. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to go meet my mom. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
You are just very welcome.
We'll see you soon.
Oh, thank God. Okay, continuing on what I was saying, Dali references classical antiquity with the use of the column of Trajan in the background with a nude male figure on the left. This is a clear importance of circularity and repetition.
Yes, I completely agree. Dali's revering the classical masters here. However, he covers the classical work with images of his own creation. It seems a clear usurping of content. He asserts that his work is held at the same level of classical masters. He goes so far as to cover the work, perhaps indicating some belief of supremacy rather than reverence.